He is closer to you than your physical heart. That point has to be understood. But how can you get communication with God? The answer is bhakti, devotion. And devotion, again, is a matter of degrees. To the extent your devotion advances, to that extent you feel operation of God through your personality. Om Nilambujasyamakomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Alludation to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Sri Ramcharitmanas, the Ramayana, Balakanda, that's the first section of the Ramayana. And presently we are moving towards verse number 203. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna, 4 brothers. They bring immense delight to the palace, to King Dasharatha, to 3 mothers, Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra, and countless divine personalities sneak into that view. They see this old style technology. Yes, I'm joking, but the idea to understand that all this story is highly allegorical. So whatever you are reading, from profound point of view, is meant for you and you alone. So don't look around. Assimilate. To the extent you are worrying about the world and you are concerned for the world, yes, another aspect. Same story, as you begin to practice in your daily life, you continue to promote universal harmony, peace. Harmony, peace in the world is not something objective, that you can ignore it and just set the thing going on. In other words, Vyakti and Samashti, 2 terms are used. Every individual is Vyakti. The world of all people, that's Samashti. Both interact, led by karma. The resolution is not going after Samashti, because that's not in your hand. Going after Vyashti, going after yourself. Therefore, the teaching starts with the first commandment, be good. The next comes, do good. Practical point is, do both simultaneously. So all this Bal Charit has been presented by Tulsi Ji, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, all playing in the palace, and how they bring delight to their mothers. and how gods sneak in, they also enjoy the delight. Kakabhushundi comes with a form of crow. Lord Shiva comes, hiding his moon from his foot. Battered locks. Narada, all great divinities. You may say how wonderful that era was, Treta Yuga. But if you develop sensitive mind, each time you move towards spiritual progress, each time you are involved in Godward movement, the Godward movement is blessed by all. So when you are seated in satsanga, Rama's story is going on. Hanuman is hiding somewhere. And all divine forces are also looking at you. Do you want moksha or are you going after Indra's capital? I'm joking, but I will not lead you too much that way. भोजन करत चपल चित इत उत अवसरूपाई भाजी चले किल कतमुख तधि ओदन लपटाई. When you feed children, it's not easy. Sometimes your pets do the same thing. They start eating food, and then suddenly they get up and tumuk, the four. They start moving one this way, another that way. Kilkat muk. A kind of joyous expression, and children begin to laugh. They don't laugh in a simple way. Click, click, click. And their teeth begin to shine as they do that. And while they are doing that, they feel so great. But what the parents see is a lot of dadhi, yogurt, over the mouth. A lot of rice is dripping from the top of the nose. And this gives tremendous joy to the parent and to any. Say, how cute. But this is not ordinary cuteness. It's a spiritual cuteness. It's a real kutniti. Kut means to go on a smashing until the essence comes out. So the essence of teachings to develop love of God. When you begin to be touched by divine love, even a small little spark, your heart says, how cute. बाल चरित अति सरल सुहाये शारद शेष शंभु श्रुति गाये. This story of these four brothers as children is so simple and charming, spiritually inspiring. In order to describe this, not ordinary poets, but Sharad, Saraswati herself composes the verses. The Upanishads bring about their essence, to bring out how Rama was crawling on his four. Lord Shambhu, Shiva himself, they, in their teachings, they bring out the joy of Rama Leela, joy of Rama as a baby, as if Saraswati, Sheshanag, Shiva, the Vedas, all are, they go into ecstasy, singing the glory of Rama. That is latent within your heart, that's hidden within your heart. Get all types of opportunities in life, loving children, watching them how they do, and there's so many cute things go on. If nowhere goes on, then you look into the TV and you find things gone in viral. But in spite of all that the world presents to you, if your heart does not turn towards divine love, just like to give you a simple way to understand, a crude illustration. Suppose you have been blind and due to a miracle of surgery, the doctor corrects, brings your vision back. And vision has come back in the middle of the night. And you are eager to see the sun. You have heard so much about the sun. So the first thing the person says, looking at the candle flame, is this the sun? Then he looks, finds something else that gives bigger light. Oh no, that is the sun. And he goes on doing that, looks up at the sky, moon. Oh, that's the sun. But when the sun really rises, he says nothing. And that outsteps all that you have enjoyed. How am I matching it up? In your life, you experience sweetness of love, profound feelings, sentiments. And when you enjoy it, oh, this is divine. Wait. More is waiting. If you allow yourself to be generous, kind, allow good karma, rather positive qualities to develop, now the love you will enjoy, oh, now that's the love. Wait, that's not the love. They are from the same love, but you are not exactly enjoying the love at its best. This process goes on when ego subsides. When that has happened, the cataract has been moved away. Now there is a profound communion with God. If that stage has come, you don't ask, is he God? Let me ask some authentic people about whether I am seeing God or seeing somebody else. भय कुमार जबहि सब भ्राता, दीन जनेऊ गुरु पितु पितु माता। गुरु गृह गए पढ़न रघुराई, अलप काल विद्या सब पाई. As they grew up, they received thread ceremony called Yajñopavit Samskar. The sacred thread is put on the person. In that thread there are 3 strings, and there are many implications with the thread. What I'm leading you to understand, the highlight of that is you are reminded that you live to discipline mind, speech, and action in order to rise beyond tamas, rajas, and sattva. And that pledge you make with that sacred thread. All that child, young boy, young girl doesn't, of course, the Hindu society has its own complex trouble. This is meant for boys and girls all. Nothing to do with any difference. But whenever people talk about someone who attained enlightenment, someone should go to the ashram, it's always because the boys are fit to go, not the girls. I'm talking about old-time civilization. That is dwindling now. People are becoming more and more progressive. But my subject is not sociology. So in other words, that's the Hindu Vedic culture. Presented sacraments. Everything you do in your life has come to a stage, name ceremony is given, Nam Samskaran. Come to another stage, Mundan Samskar. The hair is removed from your head, initiating you into sannyasa, Mundakopanishad. And Yajñopavita. Now you are being initiated to become a student, receiving knowledge under a spiritual master. So old time school was not academic schools. They went to Guru in forests or special ashrams. And they stayed in the ashram for a few years. That was the old style. But that is not, that I'm just giving away spicing of the story. Just introducing why those words are used, Janeu, Yajñopavit Samskar. Guru Griha Gaye Padhana Raghurai. When the samskar is given, young students are given the initiation into that you don't belong to one family. You live by whole society, and your relation is with the whole society. Following the storyline, Balakanda, Alap Kal Vidya Sab Pai. All the 4 brothers, they attained, they passed all their grades, speaking in modern language, and they didn't miss any step. They didn't have any failure. So very quickly they attained all the knowledge that was possible at that time. Must always remember you are trying to bring the glory of God within you, how He is advancing. God within is the source of all knowledge. Your soul doesn't need to be educated. You have to understand that. All the knowledge that is given in schools and colleges or even in ashrams, they are not meant to change your soul, but meant to allow the soul to reveal itself. If the soul has coverings of illusion, remove those illusions. Then we'll discover the soul is outsteps even the Vedas and all scriptures and all the knowledge. So if that soulward movement has become highlighted in your personality, then all the needed knowledge will come to you without trouble. Of course, from practical point of view, there will be whatever ashram, school, college, whatever may be the instrumental, but will gain that knowledge without difficulty. At the same time, understand all the knowledge you are gaining from the world, little compared to what you are holding in your own soul. Knowing which all is known. Paravidya. That's what's illustrated in the scriptures. The disciple goes and studies all and comes with great vanity. And the father, who is also a rishi, asks, have you learned that, knowing which everything is known? And then he scratches his head and says, no. Jaki sahaj swasa surti chari, sohari padaya kautuka bhari, vidya vinaya nipuna guna sila, khelahi khela sakala nipalila. God, who is Rama, and put one step further, who is you. Every soul is God. That's where people stay back. How can everybody be God? There was Rama in Treta Yuga. And you have to wait for another Yuga if you can. He will come. The real message of the scripture is Tattvamasi. You are that Rama. You don't have to wait. The entire Ramayana has to operate through you. That soul essentially is Brahman. And look at the strange predicament. Due to ignorance, the soul views itself as a human being, striving for knowledge to become a means to livelihood. I'm talking for general masses. Not having the awareness that the knowledge that shines in your soul is like the sun, is the sun. Soul is essentially, soul described ordinarily is like a reflected sun in the mind. But reflection in reality is the sun. That soul brings out all the Vedas just in the breath. Human beings bring out carbon dioxide. God brings out the Vedas. So it is a great wonder. Life in this world is a great wonder. That's what the whole idea behind. Every soul that has that potentiality, Aham Brahmasmi, wanders in this world with tremendous distress and goes on wandering from life to life. That's a big. And this amazes your mind. Think of daily experience. Go to your bed and you are wandering, even though you have made your bed so wonderfully. Pillow is holding your head comfortably. And now you are wandering. And you wake up, you don't wonder. These four brothers are highly skilled. They are like personifications of Vidya, Vinaya, Guna, and Sheel. Vidya means knowledge. Knowledge at its height is Jnana, wisdom, represented by Rama. Rama is the Vidya personified. Vinaya, Bharata, bhakti, devotion, embodiment of humility. Guna, spiritual virtues that give profound strength to one's personality, what's known as Daivi Sampat, expressed by Lakshmana. The very name Lakshmana is Lakshan, Guna, quality. And Shatrugna, whose role is removing anger, hate, etc., malas, gross impurities, his shield. When the impurities move away, a special grace appears in your personality. So, these four brothers, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrugna. Rama is Jnana, Bharata is Bhakti, Lakshmana is Dhyana Samadhi movement, and Shatrugna is Karma Yoga. All the four yogas have come together in the four brothers. And the essence of the four brothers is Rama. So they have returned from their studies and they have become the delight for people in Ayodhya. And they engage themselves in royal play, the playfulness of young people that delight all the parents, etc. But their play is royal play, it's not ordinary play. करतल बान धनुष अति सोहा देखत रूप चराचर मोहा. In their hand they hold arrow, bow and arrow. Bow is your mind, arrows are thoughts. But you don't hold them in your hand, you held them in your head. Holding them in your hand means you are making them come into practical life. Thought, word, and action, all in harmony. जिन्ह भी तिन्ह भी थे बिहरहीं सब भाई थकित हों ही सब लोग लुकाई लुगाई. And whatever street they go, they pass by, whichever channel or gully or street they pass by, people from their houses look and they're captivated by them. Their constant fascination. Just like peacocks suddenly come around and everybody starts looking. कौशल पूर्वासी नर नारी वृद्ध रुबाल प्राणहु ते प्रिय लागत सब कहूँ राम कृपाल. In that Ayodhya, all residents of Ayodhya, women, men, old men, children, youth, they are all fascinated by Rama and his brothers. They become the center of affection, their attraction. Now, this is not to view as, yes, it was there at that time. Not so. The idea is if you are developing these 4 yogas practicing in your daily life, I say 4, it's actually one yoga in 4 aspects. When you do, you allow your mind to hold the ideal, draw inspiration from this allegorical setting. Rama is within you, drawing you to jnana. Lakshmana is within you, is showing you how to have good qualities. Bharata in you is inspiring you to shed few tears of love. Shatrughna is inspiring you to remove dirt or whatever obstacles. Being all these 4 brothers in your life, life is joyous. Remember how the Ayodhya felt. You don't have to wait for your incarnation to come. And this is not a joke. This is reality. Rama is as much present today as he was. And anyone has that potential. Anyone who advances in spiritual way has the possibility of experiencing Rama Rajya. Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. All are filled with Sita and Ram. Bandhu Sakha Sang Lehi Bolai, Ban Mrigya Nit Khelahi Jai. Rama, along with his brothers and friends, group of young boys, they all together go every day to hunt beautiful deer for sport. Meaning is totally different from what it appears. Mrig means deer. The deer is symbolic of going after mirage. If you develop negative qualities in your personality, your soul will go after the mirage of the world process. Those negative qualities have to be hunted down. When Rama hunts them down, they become liberated. So when anger is hunted down by Rama, it becomes love. When pride is hunted down by Rama, it becomes humility. Selfishness becomes generosity. And these are the mrigs. These are the deer that's leading the soul to mirage. Highly allegorical description. Rama movement, day by day, enjoys those hidden deer. How do they hide? Go after. And shoot them, not to eat them, to liberate them. Story, right? Hindu people have terrible difficulty to digest this. Rama going after hunting. not having just simple compassion for animals. पावन मृग मारही जिए जानी, दिन प्रति निरपहि दिखावही आनी. And they hunt down only those deer that are good ones, implying their hunting down is not in vain, purposeful. In a storyline, they bring the deer, hunted down deer, and show to the father how he has liberated their soul. जे मृग राम बान के मारे, ते तनु तजि सुरलोक सिधारे. Now to help people not to develop that sense of cruelty to animals, Tusidasi says, those deer that were shot down by Rama, they discarded their bodies and their souls ascended to heavenly world. So they were extremely blessed. And that's simple, in very simple way to understand. The Rama movement within your personality hunts down your negative qualities. Hunts down not in Parashurama way, but in a graceful way. Parashurama way, you push them away. Cut them down, but they will come back again. But that's also the stage in sadhana. You don't have that sensitivity, then at least work against your negative qualities. Advanced stage, you develop an art of bringing light to drive the darkness. Early stage, shout at the mother. There's darkness, there are ghosts there. अब जोगी. अनुज सखा संग भोजन करही, मातु पिता आज्ञा अनुसरही. And they enjoy life's nourishment. Of course, even in a practical way, they come together, enjoy food, and they always do things to please their parents. Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava. Let mother be your God, let father be your God. यही विधि सुखी हो ही पुर लोगा, करहि कृपान सोई संजोगा. And Rama is always scheming how to bring delight, a special thrill to the people. वेद पुराण सुनहि मन लाई, आप कहें जनु जन समुझाई. Now, two ways he interacts with people. He listens to stories of Vedas and Puranas, and when he has created that situation, so many people are invited. So the whole satsanga hall is full, and the Guru Vasishtha is telling all the stories of Vedas and Puranas, Yoga Vasishtha. And while Rama is listening, all are enjoying. So he is creating that, giving opportunity to people through his personality. And even in mutual talks, Rama with his brothers, he explains, having heard the Vedas, he removes doubts, brings their mind to the deeper understanding, and it's called Charcha. Church comes from that. प्रातकाल उठ कै रघुनाथा, Matu Pita Guru Navahi Matha. Also, Ramayana presents a guidance for living an ideal life. How should a person conduct himself in day-to-day life? All that ideal of living an exemplary life is presented in Ramayana in all detail. So Rama wakes up early in the morning along with his brothers, and they receive blessings from mother, father, Guru Vasishtha. And with their permission, they go into the Ayodhya city and do many interesting deeds that inspire people. Vyapaka akala anih, aja nirguna namana roop, bhagat hetu nana vidhi, karat charitra anup. All this, Rama being the absolute God, all this he does for the sake of devotees. How to bless devotees, how to lead the souls to enlightenment. Who is Rama? Jo Vyapak, is all permeating. Akal, who does not have any, who cannot be divided, who doesn't have a head, feet, body, who is indivisible. That's the description of absolute. When you look at reflections of the sun, you can make them divide from one pot, pour the water to another pot, and you see the sun is there two pots. Make them divided. But you can't divide the sun. The world where you are divided or multiplied is a world of illusion. The source, God, the absolute, he is not in that realm. Ani, no desires. God doesn't have desire. He's not expecting these creations he has done, now what he should get back in return. Unborn, nirguna, beyond all the three gunas of nature. He is beyond all names and forms. That's God, absolute. If that description enters the mind, then immediately there comes a sense of impossibility. I can never have that. God has no hands, no body. How can you touch him? So, how can there be Ishwar darshan, your goal? Tulsidas makes it easy. That God, bhagat hetu, for your purpose, comes down, leaves behind his eternal throne of eternity, pushes away absolute transcendence, and comes down to the devotee according to his way, his capacity to behold him. So a devotee of Rama, he comes as Rama. Devotee of Krishna, he comes as Krishna. Whatever shines in your heart in the most profound way, God takes that form. That's called avatarana. Just like a baby falls, calling mother, mother, and mother bends down to catch the baby. the bending down. I'm giving ordinary illustrations. In the same way, God bends down. In your job, a mother can be a judge, or mother can be whatever, with big power and etc. But comes to the baby, she herself comes down, whether mother or father, whoever. The simple illustrations, they are not far-fetched. The relation with God is more than your relation with your body, with relation with your... He is closer to you than your physical heart. That point has to be understood. But how can you get communication with God? The answer is bhakti, devotion. And devotion, again, is a matter of degrees. To the extent your devotion advances, to that extent you feel operation of God through your personality. यह सब चरित कहा मैं गाई, आगिली कथा सुनहु मन लाई. All this Leela, all things that he did as growing teenager. Now listen to what happens after. Vishvamitra Mahamuni Jnani, Basahi Vipin Shubha Ashram Jani. Great sage Vishvamitra lived in that era. He had his ashram in a forest. And he had a project, a spiritual project. Vishvamitra means friendliness towards the entire world. Vishvamitra himself, that personality is allegorical. Rama is being drawn to Vishvamitra. I'm giving you higher level of meaning. But at the same time, allow your mind to enjoy this story. जहाँ जप यज्ञ जोग मुनि करहीं, अति मरे मारीच सुबाहु ही डरहीं, देखत यज्ञ निशाचर धावहीं, करहीं उपद्रव मुनि दुख पावहीं. You are being given illustration of spiritual progress and what are the hindrances that must be removed in order to progress. Here the example is samasti. First was vyasti in Rama. Rama, how he advances. Now in society, how Vishvamitra wants to promote that movement. Each time he does start a great yajna, a great spiritual sacrament, demons come. And these demons are called nishachar. They have the ability to have immense valor and strength in night, during the night. Again, allegorical. Anger, greed, etc., they are the demons. And these demons flourish when your mind is not given any satsanga talks. The more you keep your mind in darkness, greater is the power of these demons. Whenever Vishvamitra starts doing his yajna for spiritual progress of humanity, these demons come And in storyline, they throw lots of rubbish. Hardly the fire has emerged from the fire, and suddenly liquid drips into the fire. I look into the liquid, it's blood. Or garbage suddenly dumps from the roof right into the fire. The storyline, you don't take it literal. गाधितनय मन चिंता व्यापी हरि बिनु मरहिन निशिचर पापी. Vishvamitra thought within his own mind regarding this big problem created by Rakshasas, demons, and came to understand by his own reflections that these demons cannot be destroyed until Rama himself, Bhagavan, God alone can destroy them. And God has incarnated as Rama and his brothers. Keeping that in view, Ehu mis मैं देखूं पद जाई कर बिनती आनौ दो भाई. Now I will have the great privilege of having darshan of Rama, and I will request King Dasharatha to give Rama and Lakshmana to me to help in this situation. ज्ञान विराग सकल गुण ऐना सो प्रभु मैं देखब भरी नयना. Rama, who is the abode of all divine virtues such as jnana, wisdom, vairagya, dispassion, and all virtues, I will have the opportunity to behold Rama with my eyes, with open eyes. बहुविधि करत मनोरथ जात लागी नहीं वार करी मज्जन सरऊ जल गए भूप दरबार. And keeping his mind engrossed in this plan of going to King Dasharatha, first he took a plunge in Ganges, in Saryu water, and then he proceeded towards royal palace and reached the gates of King Dasharatha. And we'll keep you in suspense for the next. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.